Hey Shoujo fans, and welcome to episode 48 of Shoujo Sundae. This week, we're going to be talking about episodes 22 and 23 of Fruits Basket with Crystal Marie from Crunchyroll's podcast, The Crunchy Cast, and YouTube's Getting the Robot. Let's dig in.
私の心があらモード baby I'd make you more than happy けどゆっくりしようね Brain freeze ご注意できるかな Handle me 高すぎカロリー Sugar 以上甘い Feeling with you next to me baby おかわりね仕上がれ
Hi Crystal! Welcome to the podcast!
Hi! So nice to be here.
It's so nice to have you.
Yes.
I'm ready to eat.
Great. Oh, please. Yes, dig in to the Sunday.
Yummy.
So, if people listening somehow don't know you already, would you mind letting everyone know what the content you make is like?
Sure. I think you summed it up pretty well, but essentially I am one of the hosts of Crunchyroll's official podcast, The Crunchy Cast, where we discuss anime. And prior to that, I was also on Frederator's Getting the Robot on YouTube, which was also about anime. And then we had another channel called Beyond the Bot, which was founded by the same crew that did Get in the Robot. And now I'm also a producer and host and writer for the Halo TV. So most of my content revolves around anime. So clearly I am in the right place because I am a huge fan of what we're going to talk about today. I even made a video about the power of this series and the kindness as a theme, like an ongoing theme of the main character, and why that's something that I felt anime was sometimes lacking, and I feel like Fruits Basket is the series that kind of really, really brings it back into the fold. And there's been a lot of trends of slice of life anime, especially, that have, I feel most of them take inspiration precisely from Fruits Basket, and it's one of my favorite series ever.
Well, I feel like that's a great segue into my next question for you, which is, what are your overall feelings on Fruits Basket?
Fruits Basket to me kind of set the standard for a slice of life that is not supposed to just be the slice of life usually marketed towards shonen, which is cute girls do cute things, basically. It's a slice of life that actually, to me, pays tribute to the concept, because every episode is a slice of someone's life, actually. You are getting vignettes into the characters and their growth. It is character driven. It is an ensemble cast, so you're not just following a single figure and the world around them. You're also following multiple figures that orbit around that person but don't even necessarily like interact too much. It's because it's a tapestry of vignettes and slices of those lives. It's also one of those series where the emotional weight is rather unexpected for a slice of life show.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, yeah. It hits you pretty hard.
Yeah, like I thought, you think slice of life, and the assumption is that it's the type of series you wind down to after a long day. Like, oh, I don't want any more of the real world hardships. Let me instead, tune into my cute slice of life anime. And then you go to Fruits Basket, and it's more around the lines of, oh, I feel like I've had a nice day. I want to get punched in the gut. Let me put on Fruits Basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Fruits Basket helps people see that, just because something is labeled slice of life doesn't mean that life is easy.
Right.
It's not all flowers and sunshine. We get into really heavy things with Fruits Basket, but I just love that since we have like an ensemble cast and we're able to see different parts of the Zodiac's lives and stuff, like you can relate to so many of them depending on what you're personally going through.
Yeah.
It's like a trauma management show.
Oh my gosh, isn't it? It's like a trauma pizza. Just like pick your slice. Pick your slice of this life. Like
Which is your Zodiac slice? Are you more the cat's trauma or are you the rat's trauma?
Oh my god. Wait, yes, this exactly.
Oh man. You say that and I'm laughing, but I'm crying inside.
Right. It's like it's hitting me deeply, but yes, yeah. So I have one last question for you. And that is, what do you love the most about shoujo content?
My favorite thing about shoujo content is having to like trick someone into watching it and realizing that it breaks them every time. Because shoujo is often prepackaged in a way that makes you assume, if you don't watch it already and enjoy it, that it's going to be lighthearted. Which again, to me, that's why Fruits Basket set the standard for crushing your misconception about that. Like, don't trust the packaging. It's kind of like what Madoka Magica did to Magical Girl anime in a sense, which now is considered more of a trope than anything. But when it first came out, it was the first time that an anime had done such a subversive take on magical girls. And it just blew away so many people, and nobody was expecting a magical girls show to be that dark. Right? And so Fruits Basket to me, and then a lot of other slice of life anime or shoujo anime that came after, and I'm not going to conflate them as the same thing because they're not. Obviously, slice of life is its own thing. Shoujo is its own thing, right? But when Fruits Basket came out, and there's a segment of the audience that might have not normally gravitated to watching it, that eventually, once they gave it a chance, it blew them away to such a degree that I just felt personally proud. It's like when you... It's like, this is going to make it sound like it's a cult, but it's like when you first indoctrinate someone into shoujo.
Yeah.
and you're like, yes, you've seen the light.
Yes.
Welcome to the land of emotional damage.
Definitely. I feel that way when I get people to watch, like, because one thing about me, I do love K-pop, but I love Taemin. And so when I get other people to become fans of Taemin, I'm just
Taemin, yes.
Yes, okay, you understand me. Yes,
of course.
Okay.
Drip, drop. Oh my God, pick me up from the floor.
Yes. Oh my, have you seen Guilty? I'm so sorry, y'all.
Oh my God, yes. Are you kidding me? The entire EP.
Okay, yes.
Okay, this is gonna become a Taemin podcast now. I'm sorry, we're taking over.
Yes. I'm sorry. It's just
I just love that Chika could have this moment.
Yes, because I love Taemin so much. I was buying all of these music core invites so that he could win like an award for Guilty and stuff like 2 days ago. But yeah, so it's like my feelings on getting people to love Taemin is the exact same feelings I get when people love shoujo, because it's just like I feel as if people are becoming like embraced into this loving new world that they never knew existed, but now they can't escape from it.
Yes, I too wish to be embraced by Taemin.
Right, yeah.
and
yeah.
shoujo, yes.
And shoujo, yes.
Yeah, but to go a little deeper into like why I like shoujo so much. Again, the hidden corners of shoujo that I personally gravitate towards, I feel present stories that explore things outside of your usual cliche in anime. And I think shoujo allows itself to be a little braver sometimes. And it's funny to me because most shonen are lauded as having storylines that are full of genius, strategic, interesting plot that the author has, crossed the line or made someone uncomfortable about or whatever. And it makes it feel very prestige anime versus, shoujo is more fun. When to me, it's the exact opposite. Like, you do not look at a show like Revolutionary Girl Utena and think, this is a warm, lighthearted comedy content.
Oh no.
Or like if you go into the like way back of shoujo, like Bride of Deimos and like something like Moto Hagio.
Yeah.
AA Prime, which are like shoujo manga that, by the way, I think it is an injustice that AA Prime from Moto Hagio has not had an anime film adaptation in the same vein as Memories, which included like 3 different vignettes essentially by some of the greatest directors in anime, or at least considered. Satoshi Kon, Katsuhiro Otomo, and it's Magnetic Rose, Stink Bomb, and Cannon Fodder. Those are the 3, I think, names of the Memories. Either way, they are, to me, in a similar format as AA Prime is presented. They are separate stories, but they live within the context of these sort of thematic elements that tie them together. I don't know, I just love it. I think very few people know about it, maybe don't even know Moto Hagio. And it's just one of the examples that I like to give when someone asks me, what do I think shoujo is?
Yeah.
And I'm like, read this and you tell me. Like, if you can tell me concisely what shoujo is after you read that, which is one of the most seminal works of shoujo, then you know what? We're gonna embrace time in together. No, not that. We will embrace, become besties, and all of a sudden, I don't know, a halo of wisdom will descend from the skies to baptize us into based, land of based, because that is way too based.
Right.
You know, like
Just inject it into our veins. Like,
inject it, yes, please. It's just there's so much variety. There's so many intricacies to shoujo that also for me, like, have you guys read The Tarot Cafe
I have not.
or Le Bijou?
I have not.
It's very much a dark shoujo, like a dark fantasy shoujo.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's even a josei. I don't know. I have to confirm. But see, like, I feel shoujo has so much variety that I don't know. I feel like it just usually people assume it's just Sailor Moon and
yeah.
I don't know, like that's it, like magical girls or romance.
Yeah.
And that's a very narrow way of seeing it, in my opinion. Not that I don't appreciate romance, because hey, that's also one thing I love about shoujo. It presents romance that is not just meant to objectify the female character and use her as a plot development point or a sexy lamp. So yeah, I have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
I really love shoujo.
We firmly agree. I think that there is so much more to shoujo than what the average person thinks about if they aren't already aware of it. And so it's like, sometimes it can be a little annoying where it's just like people just automatically assume that it's just romance or it's just slice of life. And it's like, okay, well, read Requiem of the Rose King.
Oh my
or
God, yes.
Get into Rose of Versailles, or check out like Basara by Yumi Tamura, or even if you don't read it, you can watch Revolutionary Girl Utena. Like, there's so many like genres within the demographic that people aren't touching on, or they don't easily see, that sometimes it feels like an uphill battle and stuff. But I feel like the people that genuinely do love shoujo and are ride or die for it, we're the people that are pushing for like more content to be brought over here and to have more anime. So not only that we can review it, but that more people can see the different faces of shoujo and what it could really be if more people like responded to it and watched it and took part in it.
Or even remembered it. Like, half the time when I try to explain shoujo to someone who doesn't watch it, I start with isekai. Because the thing about isekai now is there's so many, and they're all assumed to be based on the same format of guy gets transported to another world through, truck-kun or other means.
Right.
But in truth, there was an era where isekai was pretty much mostly shoujo titles being kind of distributed in the West. Like, we had Escaflowne, we had Magic Knight Rayearth, we had
Fushigi Yugi.
Fushigi. Oh God, Fushigi Yugi.
Yeah.
No, Tamahome. Okay. Yeah. So there was this era of isekai shoujo, and it's got kind of swept under the rug all of a sudden. And when people talk about isekai, these titles are not brought up. And I'm like, what do you mean? Hell, Magic Knight Rayearth is both isekai and Gundams. Like,
yeah,
all together, all combined. Mech anime / meets isekai meets fantasy meets, and like being able to kind of bring back those titles and see that, I guess, to reformat what shoujo is perceived as, I think that's wonderful. And I love this podcast that you guys are doing, and I love the fact that you're exploring titles individually like this. And so yeah, that's why I came. Thank you so much for inviting me. I think this is just super fun and a great opportunity to kind of go into the nitty gritty of the things I love. So hey, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. When we were like coming up with the podcast and stuff, and like my hope was to just deep dive, because like when I'm watching something, or like especially like when I'm listening to people talk about something, I want them to like dig it up and bury it and like re-dig it up again and like go through every little feeling they had and like every little bit about the episode or the content that can be uncovered. And I'm like, that's what I want to do for this media that like I've either never seen before or that I hold near and dear. And like doing this with the Fruits Basket, and then also getting to share it with like all of these guests that we've had to come on. It's just been so amazing. Like, I just love diving into stuff and like really picking it apart. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it too.
Apparently I am like a voyeur for you guys dissecting. That is a weird sentence. I apologize to listeners right now. I am a chaos muppet. I don't know why people let me talk in a camera.
No, it's perfectly fine. And we're rated explicit too. So like, yeah, it's okay. We could talk about voyeurism in here.
It's chill.
That's
yes.
a wild thing.
We also cuss. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But But that aside, I think I mentioned before we even started that, I watched Get in the Robot.
Yay!
And that's how I met you.
Oh.
Although I didn't really meet you, but that's how I came to know of your content and what you were doing. And I've always admired you. And so the fact that you even when we first started, I reached out to you. I was just like, would you please retweet us? And then later on, you're like, oh, well, I like what you're doing. I was so ecstatic about it. So it's very cool to just have you on the podcast now. It's like a full circle moment.
Hell yeah.
All right. Are you guys ready to jump into some Fruits Basket?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's slice it.
Let's slice it. Yes. Replacing "let's dig in" as our catchphrase. Let's slice it.
See, I'm already ruining everybody's lives. No. That's what I set out to do.
All right, so let's get into episode 22, Because I Was Happy. Here is our soft serve summary brought to us by Wikipedia and heavily edited by me. All right. This is Hanajima's backstory episode. Born with powers that other people couldn't understand, Saki Hanajima was bullied at elementary school by boys who claimed that she was a witch. This culminated into an incident when one of the boys forced her to eat a newt, and after falling to the floor, Saki wished intensely that he would die. Moments later, the boy collapsed, and he truly almost did die. Since then, the other kids began to prejudice her, accusing her of cursing him. Saki's younger brother Megumi confronts her and prays for someone to come along who understands and loves his sister for who she really is. A few years pass, and girls in Saki's class burn her arm with a match in an attempt to get her to show her powers. Saki desperately tries to clear her mind so that no harm befalls her bullies, and that there's no repeat of the last incident. When a teacher catches them, the girls frame Saki for playing with matches. Hanajima was later transferred to a new high school out of her parents' concern for her well-being. She meets Tohru and Arisa during lunchtime, but unlike the others, Tohru and Arisa are friendly to her. Despite trying to push them away for their safety, she steadily begins to hang out with them. 2 seasons pass before 2 girls confront Saki about the incidents at her previous schools in front of Tohru and Arisa. The memories cause Saki to inadvertently use her powers on one of them, and she runs off, frightened and ashamed. Tohru catches up to her and consoles Saki, telling her not to distance herself and that she loves her, while Arisa tells her not to assume she'll cause them pain. This solidifies their friendship, and the 3 become a true trio. After some time has passed, Saki learns to better control her powers, although she still uses her waves to chastise people a bit. As the sun sets, Kyoko explains to Saki that people cannot live without others, and that no matter what happens, we all want to be accepted. And even if Saki, Tohru, and Arisa go their separate ways, some part of the relationship will always stay with her. And that is our soft serve summary for episode 22. So, getting into themes, I'm going to start with Chika. Do you have a theme or themes for this episode?
I just have, no matter what your situation is, it's still nice to be accepted by others.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I like that. Cristal, do you have a theme?
That was such a good sentence, by the way.
Oh.
So succinct.
Thank you.
Yes.
I might ramble a little because to me, the theme is, it oscillates between 2 things. One of them is guilt and the importance of learning to forgive yourself and accept yourself. And then the other one has to do with the world as a mirror to who you are and how it is narrow as long as your world is narrow, and it gets wider only if you decide to widen your world. Because
Ooh.
I feel that a lot of this episode, there's a lot of, at least for me, thematically, a lot of the darkness and isolation that Hana goes through comes from her decision to kind of isolate herself.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's reasons for that. All of these things related to guilt and her powers and things. But it's also she's so exacting with her self-punishment that she's never able to see herself from another perspective because she narrows her world so much. And then the world that is so small keeps reflecting back at her exactly what she fears. It's only when she manages to kind of look beyond the borders of the mirror that she's built, that's when her world expands and light comes in and all that stuff. So I guess there's something about that kind of struck me like that. I felt that was very powerful. And I'm not even sure how to put it into words as a theme per se, but yeah, like the mirror of the world and how you need to widen your world in a sense to define who you are.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a really interesting lens to see the episode through, because that's so true too. You know, if you're so set in one mindset and you don't open your mind to anything else, there will be no other possibilities ever. So like the only thing to do is to open yourself up to those things, even if it's like uncomfortable or scary.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, that was a heavy hitter.
Yeah. Whew. All right. So my theme idea is, even if you feel alone or misunderstood now, someday somebody may come along who understands and sees you for who you truly are.
Nice.
Oh,
Thanks.
God, the little
Yeah.
brother.
Oh, Megumi. Oh, we're going to get there. Yeah, definitely. All right. So moving into sprinkles on top, which is symbolism we've seen in the episode. Do either of you have any sprinkles on top for this episode?
Yes, for sure.
I have one.
Ooh, okay. Chika, let's start with you because I started with you last time.
I said that it's the sky
Okay.
because in the beginning, Hanajima talks about how the sky used to make her feel lonely. And then once she's friends with Tohru and Uo, then the sky was warmer. It felt warmer to her. And so I guess this also gets back to what Cristal was talking about when it comes to being impacted by different mindsets, right? And how it's like a mirror towards you. So once she was able to be friends with Tohru and Uo, her world got bigger, and the sky that was once made her feel by herself or made her feel lonely is now like, oh, it made her feel warm.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I like that. That's so cute. Ugh.
I love that.
Crystal, what is your sprinkle on top?
It's similar. And my gosh, when you brought up the sky, I instantly remember the line she said. It was like, the sky is more gentle.
Yeah.
And I always found that line so, like, what a choice of words to say. Not that the sky is lighter or the sky is brighter, but gentle. It gave me a sense of the sky as a character now when you put it that way, where it has, you know, depending on her worldview, the sky is either able to hug her gently, I guess, when it's like lighter and pinker with Tohru and like as she grows. And then it's like, on the other hand, it equally that sky as a character, I guess, can like hurt her, can distance itself from her. It's like unreachable. Like, okay, that was just very evocative. Thank you. This just made me feel very ouchy. I guess my symbol was, or symbolism I observed, had, again, going back to that idea of the mirror, was like light and reflections. And I would even say refractions, not so much reflections. It's like the camera, or rather the scene, would get stained with ink when her world was becoming smaller and darker. It's like, and I thought that was an interesting choice. Not just that the scope of the lens of the scene would narrow or something, like a slow darkening of the edges and coming into the center, but rather that it would be like these splotches of ink would pop out of nowhere. Kind of like tears, in a sense. So it managed to convey the sadness of tears and the way that those tears came from a dark place, a place of guilt, a place of self-resentment, it was just so jarring to see that be presented as ink stains. And then once she actually started feeling loved and the sky became gentle, I hate you for that. Once that happened, it's like, okay, everything is now clear, sharp, and brighter. And so the ink really struck me like that sort of, like when a mirror's like dirty, like smushed.
Yeah.
And you can't see yourself clearly. That's what kind of I felt in some of those scenes. Like, she doesn't understand how good she is and she can't see herself at all. And these ink stains are blocking her view.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't even like really think about it when I saw them. So that's so interesting.
I hyperfixate on the weirdest things.
No, that's
No,
great.
it's
I love that.
perfect.
Yeah. My sprinkle on top was pretty spot on. I know we talked about sunsets in the last episode we did with the Anabes, but we also have a sunset in this episode. And it's when Hana's really realizing that she's truly not alone anymore. We have the sun setting on her lonely past, and it will then rise into her friendships with Uo and Tohru.
Oh my god.
I know.
Yes.
Now that I think about it, you guys like pain, huh?
Dude, the more emotional, I even pulled out dude, like, The more emotional an anime or a show makes me, I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like crying. I'm like, I'm so happy to be crying right now. Why? I don't know. I don't understand. But like,
Hard agree.
like I had to message Chika when I was watching the episodes. I'm like, I don't know why I just immediately started crying when this happened. It makes no sense, but I guess we're going to talk about it, so stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. This episode had me fucked up. I was crying and shit. I was like, oh.
And then I was about to just be like, yeah, I love this episode. So yeah.
I'm realizing how basically we watched the episode and now let's talk about all the stuff that hurt us. And it's like, oh no, I'm reliving that pain. Okay, double the pain now. Oh God.
It's kind of group therapy in a way.
Really?
Yes.
Is it though? I mean, okay, I'm processing my pain, I guess. No, I love this. Don't get me wrong. I love to cry too.
Yeah.
Do we have any more sprinkles on top, or are we good to move into Floats Your Boat?
I think floats your boat.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chika, what is one of your Floats Your Boat?
I think that Hanajima has really amazing parents.
Oh my God, same. I have that too.
Me too. Literally the same thing that I noted down.
Triplets.
It's so rare.
Right?
In anime.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Parents are never there. What the heck?
Right. And I think that her parents are a really good juxtaposition for how bad the parents are in Fruits Basket, because I'll make this make sense. I think that it's a good juxtaposition for the other parents in Fruits Basket, because we've seen the Zodiac and their angst on being animals and, having this curse and what it does not only to them, but the people around them, including their parents. And so there was a discussion basically, I think during Momichi's episode, where he talks about the fact that some parents either are like fiercely protective or they reject their child. And we've just seen that level of rejection so many times. And, it's not as if nobody wants to be born with a curse or to become like a Zodiac member. It just happens. And so to see Hanajima have parents that just accept her for being different, and instead of rejecting her, they're doing the best that they can to understand what her condition is, where it comes from, how they can help her. It's just so nice to see.
It is so heartwarming. Every time she was down about herself or was blaming herself or was guilty, they were there to tell her not to do that, and that they're there to support her and they'll do whatever they have to, and that they love her. Oh my God, it's like low-key Rocky Road almost. They're just so amazing. What a great family.
Right. Yeah.
I can't believe you just added a new layer of pain to my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
You kind of hit it on the nail. I wasn't quite sure how to convey why it impacted me so much, other than the fact that in anime it's so rare to see adults show up and be supportive or like not have absent parents or something.
Yeah.
But what you said brought up like the crux of the whole series, like generational trauma.
Yeah.
That's what the Soma family is, a representation of. And it's just, the real curse is just the relationship between parent and child in a sense. Like, because, okay, so here's what you made me think of now. What's the difference between Hana and a cursed member of the Zodiac? Technically, what she has is a power that is scary, different, and potentially dangerous. The assumption should be that she's scary or a threat. That's not how her parents treat her, and I find that interesting because they see the consequences of her power. They're aware of it. They are in tandem trying to solve it and be there for her. And that doesn't like fully protect her from the rigors of the outside world. She still has to go through what she goes through. But the fact that she has a support system at home, while the members of the Zodiac don't, and all they have is essentially the same thing, a misunderstood power that is considered a threat or potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it, what a foil. Like, oh, I just applaud. I had not thought of it that way. I'm like, oh my God.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. I tried.
Wow. That episode is so much more than I thought. Like, I thought that was just a cute detail. Oh, her parents are nice and supportive. No. It's, oh God, all the Somas.
Yeah, and honestly, when I was watching this, I could not stop thinking about how if Yuki and Kyo were, like, allowed to talk about their curse, the best person they could commiserate with is Hanajima.
Yeah.
Because she can understand. She's probably like the only outside person who can understand to a degree what they've gone through, because in her own way, she's gone through it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, okay. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm gonna go get in a hot bath now and
Right.
buy ice cream.
I'm gonna go like eat 3 bowls of ice cream.
Thank you.
So, keeping it floats your boat, that went to a rocky road somehow. Cristal, what is one of your likes?
One of my likes above her parents, and this might be a weird one, but I really like the way that they treated her reaction to hurting others. It felt so real to see her struggle to kind of contain something she can't understand and run away from it, because her biggest fear is not even being mistreated. Her biggest fear is hurting other people. First, when she's a little girl and she just says that at the door, like the cops should take her away. And I'm like, oh my God, this child.
Yeah.
And she starts like, her voice starts breaking as she tells her mother that she doesn't want to hurt anyone. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's this, the fear of what your power could do when you don't understand it. It really hurt me in a good way, because I love that about her character. And I felt it made her character so well-rounded for me, that she's throughout the series, you almost feel like Hana is treated kind of like to be a comedy like element.
Yeah.
Of, oh, it's so funny. She's just giving you her bad vibes, her bad juju, and it freezes people and it's funny. And that could be so easily kept as a 2-dimensional trait. And then this was like, oh, this is a moment where I just saw her become a person, like fully, and understood her as a human being and not seeing her as this othered creature. Which is also a thing that the Somas go through. Oh, God damn it. Now you just made me think everything to do with Hana has to do with the Somas now. I'm like, but that's the point. Like, the Somas feel alien to society. And Hana is the most alien of them all, like of the Tohru's friends. And people treat her as such, but she's still a part of society, a working one too. And it's like, they could have kept it there and they didn't. She has this very human aspect of her that I just really vibed with. And I'm like, I just could relate so much that even though she was going through abuse, her response to that abuse was not to injure.
Yeah.
It really struck me. Because I would have killed them all. I'm horrible.
Right? Like, well, that's a different segment. But like,
I'm like, die. Yeah, die. That's right, bitch.
Right.
You like them now?
Yeah. I feel like that's
I'm kidding. I won't kill anyone. I swear. I promise. For legal reasons.
for legal reasons until we get to Hot Fudge.
I'm just kidding.
We're kidding.
Yes.
No, I fully agree with what you're saying. You know, just the way that her character is and how deep she is and how her concern is really about the people around her rather than like herself. I think that's also a testament to her parents too. Not to just make it all about her parents, but it's just like, you know, I think the way that kids are, it's very important to like build them up in the home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to have such a caring family, and it's not just her parents, it's also like the one grandmother, I guess. And then also her brother too, but still like to have such a loving family and things happen, and rather than them blaming her in any way, they're just more trying to understand what happened and see how best they could support her. And in doing so, I feel like it just taught her that, you know, I think the way that her parents and her family supported her is almost the way that she was trying to mentally support the same people who were bullying her, because it's like, okay, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to cause them pain. Even though these people are hurting me, I need to concentrate. I need to make sure that nothing happens to them. She's such a great character, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. All right. I guess I will share a floats your boat now.
Yes,
love that Uo invites Hana to eat with her and Tohru. And even though Hana tries to push them away, they just reel her back in with more kindness and jokes. And she eventually just kind of exists with them for a moment. And just watching their friendship blossom was so nice.
Yes. So it's like, you're going to be our friend. We're not taking no for an answer.
Yes.
Hana's like, okay, you weirdos, I guess I'll stand here and watch.
Right. I love how she was like, you guys are weird. We're like, are you really one to like judge Hana?
Right.
Yeah. So cute. Chika, do you have any more floats your boat?
I think, let's get into Megumi, okay?
Yes.
Hanajima's brother. is so adorable.
Love him.
He starts dressing like her. He starts also researching things on how to help her. He's also confronting, well, that's a different segment. I won't go too into it because I don't want to cry. But he's also like questioning her worldview and trying to make her open it more so that she doesn't see herself as a negative person. Like, so cute. I love Megumi.
He's so good.
Yes, Megumi is actually my last floats your boat. I highly agree. He's the best little brother. He's so supportive. I just think he's so sweet.
He's incredible. There is one scene in particular that stood out to me.
Ooh, I bet it's what I'm thinking it is. Okay.
It's probably in Chika's Rocky and my Rocky Road.
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe I have two scenes because the one that makes me angry is another one.
Oh, no. The one that makes you cry.
Oh, okay. When he makes a wish for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's the same one for all of us?
Yeah. Yeah, we had that in Rocky Road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then what can I say? I'm weak. But also, one of the things that stood out to me about that, it's like he realized that he couldn't break through to her yet.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't ready. Like he cannot be the catalyst because he's too much in her world and her safe space. Because even though he's supporting her, she still won't budge, in a sense, at the beginning until she meets Tohru and like it's like the shock had to come from outside or something, and I just felt like that was very mature for a kid to consider. And maybe that's not even what he's considering in the scene, but it's what I felt was conveyed, that he needed the world to respond to the kindness and gentleness that he knew his sister had in her.
Yeah.
Like the world had not brought that to her, but it would and it should and it will. Like it's a set thing because there is no way that his sister could possibly not attract gentleness to her. Like this is an assumption for me that I felt he had. And I don't know, I was just like, damn, like, wow, that my brother could never.
Aww.
I fully resonate with that, yeah. Like, he had to pray for the right people to find her. And then they did. Mm-hmm. And it's just so amazing that, like, and he was so young, too. So it's just like, oh, just so profound and, like, cute. Like, I don't have any little siblings, but, oh, I think I would just give him a hug. That's just so adorable.
Yeah. Well, I think I said in our last episode, he's just such an insightful kid. You don't expect it.
Yeah.
But then he just comes out with these words of wisdom. All right, do we have any more floats your boat? Because I'm actually all out.
Oh, one last one is just Hanajima when she realized she liked spending time with Tohru and Uo because it made her happy.
You're gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait, hold it.
Okay.
I won't go like deeper into it, but when she realized that it made her like happy and then she was excited to go to school and shit, I was like, oh, that's so cute. But yeah, that was my last one.
Okay, Cristal, do you have any more floats your boat, or are we ready to move into Banana Split?
You know what? It's tiny. It's a tiny detail.
Okay.
But it did float my boat that even though she was being bullied, some of the students, like, they weren't all bullying her at first. She would have someone defend her.
Right.
Yes, I did appreciate that.
Yeah, I hate it when sometimes bullying plots are set up in a way where for no reason everybody acts like a mob.
Yeah.
Like a mindless mob.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this felt nice. Like, thank you for that one detail of, hey, that girl who's seeing her get bullied is like, hey, stop it, don't do that. And also, like, trying to defend her. Or even in scenes where it seems like they're scared of the bullies themselves or won't interfere directly to stop it, you get a sense of dread from them, I don't know if I should do this. Should I interrupt it? What should I do? And kids are like that, like in school. Like, you don't know whether you should go against the status quo because then you'll get targeted, or if something happens, can you have the strength to stop it and things like that. And I felt like that was conveyed because all the bullies weren't like in unison. It wasn't like the whole classroom hated her. It was like 2 kids at first. That's it. Just 2 kids. And everybody like, what? You know, I don't know. So I like it. I like the variety there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels more grounded that way, even though, you know, it's a shitty situation, but, you know, it just feels more grounded in reality, even though it is a little far-fetched, but, you know, it's just... Yeah, it's better than that mindless mob mentality you see more often.
Mm.
All right, so getting into Banana Split, I wrote one, but I didn't really unpack it. So I wrote Hanajima's commitment to wearing black, like, many years after the incident. Like, I understand, like, the guilt and stuff, and like totally like understood like why she was doing it, and like kind of to remind herself and stuff like that. But I feel like as she's healed, she shouldn't feel like she has to restrict herself to it. But I know that like at the end of the episode, she's kind of like, I kind of just vibe with black now, and like that's totally fine if that's what it's become. But if it was like a commitment to it as like continuing to punish herself, I don't think that that's really allowing yourself to grow. But if she's just vibing with black now, that's chill, you know? So that's kind of why it's banana split.
I mean, that makes sense. Now you bring it up. I don't think it ever gets explored.
Yeah.
Whether the black represents her worldview or not anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe she likes it, but is she still reminding herself that she once committed a sin?
Exactly. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I feel like at the beginning it's like, I committed a sin, and at the end it's like, I'm goth, and it's okay.
Yes, I'm a goth babe, and it's great. Yeah.
Add a little purple in there at least then.
A little, right.
Yeah. Chika, do you have any banana split?
I think I like kind of shot myself in the foot because earlier when I talked about how she had amazing parents, I didn't realize that like that was in my floats your boat, but then like my explanation about Hanajima being essentially like a foil to the Somas was in my banana split.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know where to put this thought, although I guess it could sort of fit in Rocky Road. But I said, who do I need to pay to get Megumi's prayer for myself?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think that's Rocky Road, Chika. No, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, y'all. I'm laughing. It's cool. I'm not like crying or anything, but it's just like, damn, like.
Why did you say it with the exact line people say when they're crying, though? I'm not crying. I swear.
Sorry.
Okay, everybody now has to do it. Like, we all have to wish on your behalf.
Yes.
Everybody light a candle for Chika and say a prayer.
Yes. Hopefully things will turn out all right for me. But it's okay. Like, I'm like a bootstraps type of girl. So, but still, I would like that prayer. Because you know how people were asking, this is pop culture type stuff. But when Sierra married Russell Wilson, the football player, and they were like, what was Sierra's prayer? So that's what I was thinking of when I wrote it down. So I wasn't depressed when I wrote it.
That's really funny.
Like, yeah.
Crystal, do you have any banana split?
Honestly, maybe a nitpick, but what is her actual power?
Okay, I would have liked to see that more explored. It seems to be some kind of like electronic waves thing, I guess, like kind of like
and
a kinetic
clairvoyance.
Yeah, clairvoyance, and like some kind of like maybe something to do with like kinetic energy, and like I guess I don't know. I it's like I'm stretching there, but
compelling. What's that thing vampires do? That they can compose like it's
convalescence.
I don't remember.
No, I don't think that's the word.
But it's when they not all vampires, I guess, but when certain vampires make you do stuff, they override your brain functions.
Oh, I wonder if it's to do with like brain waves and the natural energy like that occurs through that way. Because I mean, if she's affecting people by giving them like a headache, there must be some kind of like thread between like that energy and maybe like your brain waves. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the brain is electrical.
If I actually had time to like sit down and really try to unpack it, I might be able to like come up with something, but that's probably the best I can do right now.
That's why I'm split on that, because it could be fun to just leave it open so that, the Hana's power theory, right? Like, because sometimes with anime, I do like to do that. Like, I want to theorize about stuff, but I don't feel Fruits Basket lends itself to that specifically. Like, I don't go into an episode, get gut punch in the feels, and then think, but now let me theorize about the exact composition of Hana's power. Is it this or that? Like, it's like I'm already hurt and crying. I don't have the space to consider. So I would have liked it if at any point it was addressed, or at least hinted at to where it comes from. Like, nobody in her family has it.
Yeah.
It would be so cool if like she belonged to like a line of intuitives or something, because she doesn't want to use the word witch.
Yeah.
You know, where like this was inherited, or like her great grandmother had it, and like it skips 2 generations, and even though she's never met her great grandmother, she's acquired this power, and something like that. Like that would be so cool.
Right.
like a Shinto priestess who used to handle yokai, or maybe maybe it was completely circumstantial, like her mother on the day that she was conceived went to a specific tree that had been cursed or ate an apple.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, there's so many angles.
I love this shit. This is great. We're writing a really cool backstory right now.
Yeah, you see, I just wanted them to give me something, like a thread.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think that, I think I've said it before that we could have a whole separate side story for real on just Hanajima's perspective, because it's like, why is she like that,
And don't tell me Megumi wouldn't like research his family tree. That kid is dedicated. He would find everything out. I would watch a series where it's literally just them trying to figure out the lineage of their power.
Right, yeah.
What a great OVA. Oh my God, no. It makes me want to write it. I gotta stop. There's too many ideas.
Well, I mean, we've had fanfic episodes before.
Oh dear. Oh God. Oh no. Don't bring out my AO3 alter ego, please.
Well, Giana has AO3 fanfics for real.
Yeah, like we read, I'm sorry, I'm just so proud of my Kyoya fanfic that we read for Halloween. I wrote it in 2014 and I like overhauled it for the podcast, and we read it. It came out over the summer. It's a Halloween fanfic, so I mean it's just past being topical, but I'm so proud of it, guys. If you're listening and you haven't checked out the Kyoya and the Kyoya Otori and the Crystal Ball episode, give it a listen. It can still be Halloween at Christmas, the nightmare before Christmas, So
if you're like me, it's Halloween all year long.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then leave a review too.
Please
on
do.
AO3.
Yeah, comment on AO3.
I mean, I'm down. I'm curious now.
Right? Or instead of leaving a review on AO3, if you'd like, you could join our Discord and go to the podcast discussion channel and just hype Giana up there. It'd be really nice.
Wait, I would love that so much. It means so much when people read my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Moving into a rocky road where I feel like we're probably going to live for a hot minute. Where do I start? Okay, I guess I'll start with my one that caught me so off guard. Like, literally, I was just sitting, vibing, watching the episode, feeling all the things we were feeling. And then, like, Tohru's voice, you don't even see her on screen. Tohru's voice meets Hana's ears for the first time. And literally, my eyes just filled with tears. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Why is this? And I had to like sit in that for a minute. I'm like, it just felt like this huge, comforting sigh of relief that Saki was finally going to be okay from now on. And it just hit me like truck-kun.
Oh my God. Sorry. Yep. Understandable.
Yeah. Totally caught me off guard. I didn't understand. I'm like, it's just Tohru, but it's Tohru and she needs Tohru. Oh my God. I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you said. Oh, it's Tohru. Oh, it's Tohru.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep. That changes everything.
For sure.
Yeah.
Chika, what's one of your rocky roads?
Okay, well, now we're in the place where we can talk about what makes us cry. So let's full on get into the depression and stuff. So
I'm scared of you because you've made me cry with 3 observations already, and that was not the crying section.
I'm sorry. Okay, this is not a real trigger warning, but guys, like y'all know, I've had a pretty fucked up year. So when it comes to this particular scene hitting me hard, y'all will see why. So it's when Hanajima is watching her parents talk about her being bullied and the matches and stuff, right? And so Hanajima was watching from the outside and Megumi goes up to her and was just like, why don't you tell them that you're being bullied?
Oh, God.
And, she is just kind of overall she feels so guilty and messed up. And then he asked if Hanajima really thinks that people exist to be punished, because Hanajima, the way she talks about things, is essentially punishing herself for having this ability, even though she's never hurt anybody. And so that really hit me personally. I think it's just because of this year. But when you have gone through so many obstacles or conflicts, right? And it just seems as if it's one after the other, after the other, after the other. You mentally get to a point, or at least for me, where I'm just like, who do I need to apologize to?
Yeah.
What have I done to merit having so many bad things happen to me at once. I've only been doing my best. And so seeing Megumi talk about that, it was just like, oh, Megumi is asking Hanajima that, but it also felt as if he was checking me for like my thought process or like my mindset of having so many like struggles and like trying to move past it, but feeling as if I can't. It was a lot. I had to pause. I was like, ooh, I am bawling. I will be right back. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that resonates deeply with me too. I've had like a weird past couple of months where like stuff kept happening, not to the same degree that Chika, I'm so sorry. Like this year's been like shit.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I've had like my own stuff like popping up over the last couple of months, and I've had a few times where I'm just like, what did I do? Like, what do I, like, who do I gotta, like, again, who do I have to apologize to? Like, you're right. Like, I've had, like, that thought almost verbatim. So, like, I totally see why that hit so hard.
I hate it here, but yeah, me too. I've thought that maybe, like, I oscillate a lot in my spiritual beliefs. And, like, sometimes I feel that the reason I question when I go through a year like that, or through a lot of terrible kind of like just stuff I can't control happening to me for no reason, I don't know where, like, it's my fault. What did I do? Was it something I did in my past life?
Oh, man.
Am I paying for it now? Is this my karma and I just can't avoid it? Like, at one point that was my thought. On another one, I just felt like my parents are like Latino Catholics, and they very much, even if I personally, I consider myself Catholic light, or I don't know, like, I guess they just taught me to assume that if I am going through bad things, I did something bad to deserve it. Like, yeah, you're being punished by God, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to, it was, because I don't feel that way anymore, but it was very hard for me to disengage myself from that specific sort of indoctrination of, like, assuming that there is a higher power that thinks I deserve it. Like, wait, okay, that can't be. Like, life is not, and this is like where what you said about Megumi checking you, like, that really resonated with me, because it's like, it's true. Like, life is not about you being born to be punished.
Yeah.
You're just alive, and the world is the world, and things happen in it. And sometimes those things aren't good, and you can do your best, and sometimes the things are just not good, and then sometimes they're good and you did nothing, and they're just good.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so arbitrary, and yeah, that hurts, man.
Whew. All right. Gosh, we've all like gone on that I don't remember who I left off on. Crystal, did I ask you for a rocky road?
My rocky road is super simple. My eyes water just out of fucking nowhere.
Hey, same.
Yep. It's literally when in that scene Chika brought up before about the sky, when she says it's gentle. When she said that, I swear my eyes just teared up, because I didn't even know why. I'm like, she's staring at the sky. What's the big deal? But I think it was the framing. Like, the hues were pink and warm, and it just felt like she was, I guess, allowing herself to be okay or feel some type of joy. Like, I felt like this girl had basically put herself in shackles throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that she looked up at the sky with hope, like, am I allowed to be happy? Oh shit, it's that. Oh, it's that. Okay, so you know what we've been saying about feeling like we're being punished. I think everyone who goes through that automatically assumes they don't deserve to feel good too. Like, this would make me feel good, but clearly I'm being punished. Clearly I don't deserve it. Clearly I did something bad, so I can't allow myself to enjoy this, because it's gonna go away and it's gonna be worse and it's gonna be bad, and actually it's wrong for me to enjoy it. Like, it's a whole thing. And I guess I hadn't realized that would resonate with me. Like, maybe I do that to myself more often than I'd like to admit, where happy things could be happening around me, but I'm bad and I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to have a moment of joy because I failed at something. Because it's not even because I'm bad or because Hana's bad. It's like she failed to control her power. She knows she's not a bad person, but she failed.
Yeah,
and that is where I was like, oh, yeah, I know what that feels like. Every time I fail, I deserve to be punished for failing myself or whoever.
Yeah. Or then when you're like heavily like depressed and stuff, and then one of your coping mechanisms stop working, and then you just kind of think, oh, I deserve that.
Yep.
This isn't fun anymore because I shouldn't have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therapy.
Therapy's a great thing. Oh, man. Yeah. So we get a wonderful dose of Kyoko wisdom this episode. And one of the things she says is that will always want to be accepted by other people, even if we have a core support system. And that was like really validating for me because we all want to be liked. And I've like, I don't know, I've always just kind of like wanted people to like me. I've always been like a people pleaser. And when someone doesn't like me or they have the wrong idea of me, it makes me like really upset because it's like, no, like you're not seeing me for who I am. And I've had those kinds of things come up somewhat recently. And it was just really validating to hear like mama tell me that it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It is okay.
Yeah, it's definitely okay. I feel the same way, Giana. I feel it's never really worked out for me, but I've always wanted to be the type of person that has like the lively ecosystem of friends that's all around. It doesn't have to be like a big group, but really like maybe 5 core people, and it's like we're all like are rooting for each other, and when they're happy, I'm happy. When they're sad, I'm either sad or I'm like trying to help. And so just having somebody like say that, it's like, okay, yeah, because, you know, with the wrong person, it can feel as if maybe if I was a people pleaser, it would happen. I guess fast forward, it doesn't, or it didn't for me. I won't say it wouldn't happen for other people or whatever. But yeah, like just being able to have somebody validate that experience of wanting to have that acceptance. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, definitely.
When she said people need people, that also hurt.
Yeah, people, we are social creatures.
I don't want to need people, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super introverted and I need a lot of solitude, I feel like, to recharge, but like still need people.
That's just the truth, I guess. The fact that she said it that way, and because it's coming from, you know, mom.
Yeah.
it feels like I feel challenged by that line personally. Because and this is only, you know, obviously this speaks more towards me feeling like I failed at being able to like sustain friendships throughout my life very well. But the sort of the backup to that, or the, I guess the response to that, is that I've become more of a person who tries not to depend on people on purpose.
Right.
But at the same time, seeing it be reflected back at me in this episode, like, it's not a bad thing that you still seek it out even if you're not great at it.
Right.
It's like, fine.
Right.
Yeah, I will accept that maybe I do want friends again, I guess.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not like a bitter person.
No, I don't think that at all. We don't think that at all.
No.
I like people. I'm not saying I don't like people, but I think you do get to a point in life where if you've ever tried, like, this is my personal experience, obviously I don't think that's necessarily everybody, but if you've ever tried to create a family like that, like a found family of friends, and it continuously breaks apart over and over and over, you get to a point where you assume that just can't happen.
Right. Yeah. Same for me. I wanted that ecosystem around me. I've always wanted it since I was a kid. And I think it wasn't really until recently where I was just like, you know, it is what it is. The people that are cool with me and close with me, like, they know I treat them like family and stuff. So the people that know that, they know that. But me having the same idea of friendship or having that group of people around, I stopped trying to obtain that. So it's like, seeing the episodes, it's just like, people need people. And it's like, okay, Pain, yes.
Yeah. Because it's maybe the hard truth of, maybe we just don't want to admit to ourselves that even though well, me personally, I'm disappointed in like, my expectation to have that sort of ecosystem, I guess, and what reality has been like. And then there's a part of me that's still looking for it, and that's the part I'm trying to silence. And this episode bringing it up is like, actually, that will always be in you.
Right.
Because you're human, and that's okay. And I'm like, okay, fine. Because it's not a lie. Like, I'm not actively looking to make more friends per se, but I'm not closed off to it either. But it's just not something, like, before I used to pursue it. Like, I really wanted to try to find a space. And I think Hana reflects that a little bit in this episode, because she chose to, you know, in her mind, to not hurt others. She needs to not be around others or not be with other people. And then, oh God, I guess that's I hate discovering new layers of pain as we talk about this. But there it is. Like, she's actually crying inside when Tohru holds her hands in the staircase.
Oh my God.
And she allows herself to admit that she wants to be with people. She wants to spend time with them. She wants to be happy. The rest is just a facade. It's a shell. It's a lie. It's a broken mirror.
Yeah. I also have that in my Rocky Road. Tohru accepts her anyway. She just wants to grow closer and know her better and try to understand, even if she doesn't right now. She's exceptional.
Yeah.
I just love it so much.
I understand why when you heard her voice, you were like insta tears.
Yeah, like all it took was for me to like hear her voice and know that Saki was going to be okay and that it was like just going to start to get better for her. Just like immediately started crying.
The impact of kindness and kind people. Tohru, the real superhero.
Yeah, for
Oh
real.
my gosh, yeah. Chika, do you have any more Rocky Road you want to talk about?
I have one last one.
Okay.
Break us. Go.
I'll try. Well, no, I won't try. It broke me. It was, I'm trying to remember if this was after the new incident or the burning incident. Saki's parents, they were like hugging her. I think it was maybe her dad. It's like, I love you, Saki, so don't give up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, this was a hard year. This was a hard.
I hate you. You brought up the dad.
I'm sorry. It's just, I quite literally, I think, if not my parents, also one of my sisters literally say the exact same thing to me at least a month or a couple months ago. So it's just, it hit me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I gotta pause again.
Shit, here we go again.
Yeah.
That was just so touching.
Yeah.
Love her parents. Cristal, do you have any more Rocky Road that you want to touch on?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I just have one more. It's very, very, very quick. When Hanajima describes seeing more than one shadow on the ground, that shit hit me because I've had like that exact same thought before. So, oh my gosh, because for people who are listening that may not have watched the episode recently, I think it's like towards the end of the episode, like in that sunset scene I was describing in Sprinkles on Top, she's like walking with Tohru and Uo, and she's talking about how, you know, she sees like more than just her shadow on the ground as they're like walking in the sunset. And I'm like sitting over here like, oh God. Yeah, no, it just really, really hit me. I really just loved watching them come together as a trio.
Ouch.
Yeah. I loved it too.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good moment.
From those feels into intenser feels, do we have Hot Fudge?
Of course we do.
Yeah.
Great. I would love for you to kick it off, Chika.
Instead of me, maybe Cristal could.
Okay.
Me?
Would you like to bring in that? Would you like to start pouring the Hot Fudge on this Sunday?
I mean, okay. It'll be a quick rant.
Okay.
I hated so much when the girls at the new school she transferred to brought up her past to judge her.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just hate it because people are like this in real life, and I hate that. And it was such a it really angers me. And maybe it's pretty realistic in a sense that someone's gonna use your past to judge you now.
Yeah.
And she had escaped that, you know? Like she was starting to move away and create a new identity for herself where what was being reflected back at her wasn't this fear and this you know, like what she experienced. She was in a new school. She was a quiet girl, but things were just happening around her, and now her world was expanding. And then I don't know, I felt personally betrayed. I know that was necessary for the plot, I know it, but I felt personally betrayed by the concept of someone living a peaceful life, and then out of nowhere you hear a rumor and you bring it up to them like this is something that will reshape your entire identity now.
Yeah.
Even though we don't even know, it's not even confirmed. Like, what the hell was that thing about you used to smoke and apparently you put out a cigarette on another girl? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I guess
Right.
that's how they twisted the matches thing.
Yeah. I think I had that in Ice Cream, You Scream, but I agree in the sense that, you know, those two girls that did that, first of all, they didn't even have an active relationship with Saki. So for me, it's just like, I don't know how you would feel comfortable hearing rumors about somebody that you don't even have a relationship with, and then turn around and then go and ask them about these rumors and say, oh, is it true? Why would it, being true or not, why would it matter to you? Because I don't personally talk to you.
Yeah.
We don't gel like that.
Right. Has she caused any trouble since she's transferred to this school? No? Then shut your mouth.
Literally.
Right. Mind your own business. Okay. Like, you asking me all of these questions. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Chika, would you like to go?
Okay. Let me go off.
Yes, please.
First of all, when it comes to that newt kid, I wanted that fucker to die.
Oh my god.
A live fucking newt? A live newt?
Oh, I had erased that scene from my head.
Yeah, I had like a visceral reaction to that because like that is so terrifying and terrible and disgusting and violent. She could have choked to death and died, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I was just like, oh, I wanted that bitch to die. Because how are you going to go and do that? First of all, you're killing the newt. Because ain't no way, once it goes through all the acid and shit, ain't no way that shit's still gonna be alive once it comes out the other way.
Oh my god, I just uncomfortably thought about like, is it alive until it's digested and then does she feel that? I can't think about it.
Go wiggling and all that I'm telling you.
Now it's a horror show.
I'm telling you,
Oh
I
my God.
wanted that bitch to die. I was like, oh, you need to die today. Because like her powers coming out and then them bullying her afterwards. I was just like, okay, first of all, would you like somebody to put a live newt down your throat just because you look different? The one thing I would say about her parents, because overall I do like Hanajima's parents, but that newt shit, I would have been changed schools then. I would have been done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree.
A lot. She could have choked to death because of what somebody else did, and she's caught up in like, oh, I've got to go to jail. No, actually, he could go to jail. That kid up in the hospital, he could go to jail.
Yeah, that was attempted murder.
It was.
Right, there would have been some kind of juvenile detention, something or other, you know.
It's still something. It's better than just, oh, like, I got away with... No, you're not getting away with shit. You did what to my child?
Yeah.
I'ma have that shit be following you. Like, just like how them little girls were like, oh, Saki, I heard you burned a cigarette. I would have been talking about that newt boy at least K through 12.
Yeah.
K through 12, I've been talking about him. But then outside of that, the girls that decided to burn her.
I have that too. Oh my god, that I was so livid.
I was so mad.
4 of you are gonna hold her down and literally implement like torture tactics on her to get her to use her powers. What the actual fuck is wrong with you?
Quite literally. And then they were like, oh, she was playing with Matt. I would have shoved the matches right up. Like, I'm telling you, I got really, really, really upset. And so part of me was just like, I understand Hanajima's trauma, but at the same time, I really wanted her to fight back. Let the waves go. Let all of it, just blow all of the, well, not blow them up, because it's not like she could do that. Well, I don't know if she can do that, but just like,
She can.
just let them go haywire, because if that's what you want, I'm going to give it to you. If you're trying to literally burn me, I would have wreaked like literal havoc. I would have been throwing the desks. I would have broken the window. I don't know who I would be. Let me just say that. I don't know who I would be. I'll just know I would be violent if I was put in the same situation that Hanajima was put in. Because ain't no way you're going to put a newt down my throat and be burning my arm and think that I'm not going to get my lick back.
Oh, it's Morbin time.
Because I'm... Yeah, I would definitely get my lick back. They had me all the way fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was infuriating.
I think I got more mad in that scene at the teacher.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely touch on the faculty because that is actually my hot fudge is what the...
Go off.
Where is the faculty
Go
in
off, I
this?
hate them.
Like...
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we talk about the faculty a lot, I feel like, on this podcast, but like...
We do.
There is like... next level bullying happening in your school and in your classroom. Why is nobody catching wind of this or seeing it happen? Or like they're in a classroom with the lights off after out. Like,
Oh my god.
what?
I have this written down, but for the other one.
No, please go ahead because that's pretty much it.
No, I don't know if it fits the same context, but yeah, continue. The school ain't schooling. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, it isn't. Like,
First of all, even why was like when we meet Tohru is passing out food to the students. Where are the faculty then? Why are you having kids be doing your job? For real. Where's their money?
I really wanted that one teacher's head when it showed up in frame.
Yeah.
I wanted someone to take the same pack of cigars and just put it on his forehead, all lit up.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's see what a scar looks like so you can check her fucking arm and understand what happened.
She literally passes out.
What do you mean? You come in and like...
You
like,
smell burning flesh.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude? Yeah, like, and they say it in scenes, so it's not even that you're not, like, they skipped over that. She goes, it smells funny. I'm like, oh, you motherfucking psycho. Like, what do you mean you're smelling human flesh burning and your response is tee-hee?
When I was watching that scene play out, because this is my second watch through of this ever, so it's my, second time ever seeing the Saki episode, I was just like, where the fuck is the faculty? Why is nobody here? Why are the lights off and these girls are like holding her down in a classroom and it's like fine and nobody knows what's going on? And then faculty does show up and literally nothing's accomplished and he just like, oh, guess she is playing with matches and like doesn't investigate it at all, see what's going on. Seeing that like you can see she's clearly traumatized. Like, she was sweating, restraining herself from hurting these girls who had no regard for her feelings and were actively hurting her. It would have taken him 5 seconds to see what was actually going on, and instead of stepping in like an adult and doing something, he just, like, allowed it to occur.
My thing is she passed out, and so that's another thing I would give to her parents, because it's like, the fact that she passed out and the next thing we're seeing is her being in the house. I know that y'all are loving and supportive, but I would have that teacher's ass.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're about to not work anymore because my child came home like this under your watch? A minor? Oh,
No.
You're done. You're done, and those little girls are done because like the Newt boy, K through 12, I'm telling everybody, oh, you like to burn bitches that don't do nothing to you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you look basic and you're stupid. Like,
Oh my gosh. All right. Do we have any more hot fudge or are we good to move along?
I feel like my hot fudge is just gonna mix with what's coming as well.
What, Ice Cream You Scream? I feel like Ice Cream You Scream, faculty was on my Ice Cream You Scream. So to be honest, I don't really have any more.
Okay, yeah, I actually didn't write any ice cream you scream. I just had hot fudge for this episode. But if there's anything you guys want to share for ice cream you scream, feel free.
Maybe I guess I scream you scream is my hot fudge because I wrote a spiel.
Okay.
Like, okay. But this is actually more me being mad at the episode and the creative direction of it, in a sense.
Okay.
Because, yes, and this is why I guess I wanted to separate them, because these are scenes that made me mad. I felt angry when they happened. They conveyed the point, which is this girl in this precarious situation, all these things. But I felt like there were too many, I would say, lazy visual shorthands for something that should be a lot more, I guess, weighty in the way that it's represented. And it kind of cut off the immersion for me in some of these scenes. Like, okay, let's say the scene with the two boys and the Newt. They bully her. They put themselves above her in power. They consider themselves infallible. The lights are on. This is happening in daylight, as you mentioned. That part, I'm like, okay, and nobody saw this? Okay, fine, I'm just going to be mad at the staff. Fine, that's it. I'm going to let it pass. This is just anime shorthand for she's being bullied. This is the scene where it's conveyed. I personally think it would make more sense that this is happening behind the bushes or something, not in the middle of the school, but okay.
Yeah.
We decided to frame it that way. No problem. Let me let that one slide. But where it became like, okay, I can't let that one slide, is because of the reaction that happens afterwards. She manages to put a kid in a coma, and everybody starts fearing her. But then there were scenes where they were kicking her or pushing her. And they're like, oh, you're weird. We don't want to be near you. And then there's scenes where they're like, oh my God, we're genuinely afraid of you. And I'm like, okay, pick a lane. Pick a lane of the narrative. Because either people know she's got a power that can hurt them, and the response is fear and backing away from her, which is already emotionally impactful enough. Like the idea that everybody would just automatically like move out of the way and stuff like that. Like you can convey that in a scene very, very quickly. And her world darkening and narrowing as the isolation sets in, because it's no longer self-imposed. It also means the world agrees. But then you would have these kids come up being like, wah, weird girl, we hate you, push. And I'm like, dude, she could kill you, didn't you? Isn't that the point? Like, I don't know. It just took me out because I don't like it when I don't feel there is a cohesive narrative regarding a reaction. Either you're afraid or you want to bully her and provoke her and see where it goes. Like, you can't have both sides here because the whole threat that is occurring is to you, like the person who is bullying her or ignoring her. Like, you're the one who's going to suffer the consequences if she does go off. So why, I don't know. It just, the motivation wasn't there for me, I guess. Like, after that happened. Like, I do understand the scene with the match and the girls, because that felt like she was older. And, you know, you can forget about the possibility that she's dangerous, especially because she's trying so hard not to be, and there's not been another instance of that happening. So maybe you're like, oh yeah, let me see if it's true. Are you actually powerful? Like, okay, that makes some narrative sense to me. But the immediately after a kid fainted and was in a coma part, like, that to me needed to just be fear.
Yeah.
I didn't like that shorthand. Like, that was lazy to me. Like, it wasn't necessary. She didn't need to keep getting kicked around. I get it. She's being bullied.
Yeah, no, that does make sense thinking about it like that. I didn't really like think about how those things contradict each other, but you're all right. Yeah, I agree. That is strange that they didn't just pick one thing, because it would definitely make more sense for it to be all fear, and then she doesn't do anything for years, and then these girls are like, yeah, right, you have powers, and then like they're testing that. So yeah, very interesting observation.
Right. And my thing, like, those kids that were bullying her after she put that kid in a coma, I'm just like, if you want to newt down your throat, let me know.
Yeah.
Let me be isekai'd into Fruits Basket. I'ma change all this shit up. Like, that don't make no sense to me. Like, y'all are kicking her, and it's like who are you defending here? Because you wouldn't like a newt down your throat either. Like, but okay,
yeah,
sure.
Heck, that's another like incohesive part. Like, in the classroom, the kids are horrified at what's happening.
Yeah,
they don't know what to do. They don't react. And by the way, that part to me was a little weird, because these kids are so big. Like, you can take them down.
Right.
No problem.
Honestly, Fruits Basket would end in like 4 volumes if I was in the story. It's just like, I don't need to get to know all y'all bitches. We gonna get to the point. Okay.
Oh my god.
I guess that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have a nuts point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So nuts is our like shocking moments, or like WTF moments. So I just put in all caps, like, Saki almost killed a kid with her power. Like, that is fucking nuts. So that's kind of it.
But in a good way, because, you know, nuts taste good.
Well, I mean, it's kind of no pun intended or pun intended, a shocking thing. That her wave power did it. Anyway.
I would love for that shit to manifest just like, like on that kid. Like,
oh my gosh.
All he did was pass out. Like,
y'all just brought up one more nitpick. Where's the government?
Oh my God.
Sorry. Where's the government? No offense, but like, you have a kid who's making people pass out into a coma. I don't believe that the government just sits and lets that exist.
Right.
I don't know, it feels kind of odd. Like, maybe sure that's not that kind of anime, but I don't know. I feel like that would spread quickly, that she has a power like that, and
right. That would be like a news story.
Where's the news?
Yeah.
Where's the media?
It's just the layers keep happening. I think we should probably just move on before we go into a rabbit hole.
See, that's the thing. But wait, is a rabbit hole a possibility? Okay, never mind.
Oh my god.
But it is a rabbit hole for me, okay? Because that's why it's lazy shorthand. It's like, you cannot posit all of these ideas into a single half-hour episode and let the narrative lie flat there into like just. There are some things I wish the series would expand on, honestly. Like, just a few things.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Definitely this.
Some things can be self-contained.
Yeah.
But damn, where's the press?
For real. But speaking of rabbits, right? Did that help, Giana?
Speaking of rabbits, wait.
Terrible segue, isn't it? I'm sorry.
To episode 23.
Yeah,
Momiji's here.
Yeah.
I get it now.
I love this so much. He does make a very cute appearance in this episode. Okay.
My bad.
Perfect. No, it was wonderful. Thank you. Speaking of rabbits, let's get into episode 23 of Fruits Basket. You look well, ... Here is our soft serve summary brought to us by Wikipedia, but heavily edited by me. Tohru is devastated that she failed one of her final exams, but Yuki, Arisa, and Saki cheer her up when they tell her that she can just pass the makeup exam. While walking home with Kyo, Tohru suddenly catches a fever and falls to the ground. Shigure suggests that she should stay home and rest until she gets better. As he calls Momiji to inform him that she's sick and can't work, Momiji eagerly covers her shift for her, much to the excitement of Tohru's coworkers. Kyo makes some dinner for Tohru to eat. Tohru begins to cry in front of him, and he offers her a listening ear. She vents about feeling like a disgrace because she failed her exam, and she promised her mother she'd graduate high school, and now she has a cold and can't study or work. Kyo consoles her in his own way, saying she needs to get better soon, and that the absence of her smile makes him uncomfortable. Tohru feels cheered up and thoroughly enjoys the meal Kyo cooked for her. Later, Hatori, Momiji, and Kisa then visit Tohru, and after Hatori injects Tohru with some medicine, Yuki gives her a notebook with notes to study for the makeup exam. When the time comes, Tohru passes the makeup exam. As she's walking home with Kyo and Yuki in the rain, Kyo feels sluggish and a little ill. The rain causes these things to happen to the cat spirit. Upon returning home, they run into Kagura at Shigure's house. Shigure forces Kyo to go shopping with Kagura. On this quote-unquote date, Kagura asks Kyo about hiding his true form from Tohru, but he doesn't want to talk about it. When the two return home, there is an unexpected familiar face waiting for Kyo at the door. And that is our soft serve summary for episode 23. Chika, do you have a theme for this episode?
I really don't. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Totally fine.
I don't even have a sprinkle either, so...
That is totally okay. Cristal, what about you? Do you have a theme?
I do.
Okay.
Sharing your burden is not the same as being a burden.
Oh.
And I think that's reflected in both Tohru and Kyo in this episode, and they kind of act like mirrors to that concept.
Yeah.
Tohru hides her pain, and Kyo hides his form.
Wow, yeah, yeah.
Both for the same reason. They don't want to burden other people with it.
Yeah.
I love that you have a theme for this episode because I also do not.
Amen, Cristal. Thank you.
Yes, I do have a little something in lieu of a theme because I just kind of thought after thinking on it for a minute that this episode is just kind of purely for plot advancement to set up the events of episode 24. And there's nothing where I just couldn't find a theme. So that's just like what I was thinking. I was just like, make Tohru feel sad, have Kyo console her and extra solidify their current standing of relationship, and then reintroduce Kyo's discomfort regarding his true form and some of the negatives of being possessed by the cat spirit, and then boom, episode 24. But that is not for tonight. This one, but yeah. So that's I was just thinking of it in more of a plot setup way rather than like a moral or overarching theme. That doesn't mean I like it any less. It's just kind of what I gathered from watching it. I also don't have any sprinkles on top. Do you have any, Cristal?
Okay, so for me, it was food.
Okay.
So the reason why is that Kyo, in the absence of being able to communicate correctly with his mouth, as usual, I love you, Kyo, I'm an apologist, but still, you suck at that, he cooks for her. And within the language of the episode, he conveys how much he appreciates her cooking, because that's what she does. And it's through food that they're trying to take care of each other, especially when they fail to know how to do so.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
And he's the only one that does it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my shoujo feels.
I don't think that this would really count for symbolism. It's like low-key foreshadowing, but we won't go into it. Although if you've read and watched the series, you probably know what I'm hinting at here. But after Kyo gives Tohru like the porridge, right? Rice porridge? I think that's anyway, after he gives Tohru the porridge, then he's just like, oh, you can tell me what your problems are, right? I can sit and listen to you.
I know exactly, Chika. Oh my god.
And of course, in this episode, we get to see Shisho for the first time. All of this shit connects, y'all. I'm not saying it, but you know exactly what I'm getting at here. But yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about the foreshadowing there. You're so right.
Yeah.
It doubles as both, right?
Yeah.
Like it doubles as foreshadowing because of the deeper meaning that's coming later. And it's still kind of a driving symbolism in the episode because when he goes on a date, quote unquote, with Kagura, it's to a supermarket. Like food, again.
Yeah.
But this time,
yeah.
the ingredients. The ingredients are there. And that's how I took that scene of the ingredients for Kyo to accept himself and love himself are there. Kagura actually is taking care of him, but he can't see that very well.
I mean, to be honest, I can't see it neither, but I get what you're talking about.
We are the furthest from Kagura stands.
I am not a Kagura stan personally. I could do without her character, but putting that aside, I understand what she's trying to convey or do, or what her purpose is, as someone who is on the cat side from the Soma family. So Kiyo's entire his entire characterization and persona is based on the whole Zodiac rejecting him. Now, I may not really personally enjoy Kagura, but she is an actual member of the Zodiac that wants to be around him. So that kind of breaks through the assumption that the whole Zodiac hates him. Very, very, very in her bull-like way. But that's why I saw the supermarket setting as interesting, because again, I felt food really was a symbolism, like a symbol in the episode. Because she's not the cooked meal, you know what I mean? Like the cooked meal is Tohru. But she has ingredients to love him, or ingredients to create a space, or the building blocks of what could be a friendship, sort of, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I saw there. But yeah, not spending too much time on Kagura. I'm not a fan either.
All right, let's get into Floats Your Boat. I'm actually going to kick it off. I have a very silly one to start. Hanajima happily consoles Tohru, who failed one subject, by telling her she failed them all. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah. She's very strategic, though, because she did it out on purpose.
You think so? I wasn't sure.
No, she definitely filled it on purpose, because she said, it's kind of in passing, but she talks about how, like, the makeup tests are so much easier.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, man. I thought that was just an observation. That was her being a strategist. Of course.
She's so great.
Yeah.
I love her. Chika, what's one of your Floats Your Boat?
I just love that every time somebody asked Tohru about makeups, that she did the scream and, like, her eyes got super big and she had to get away from people.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
my gosh.
so funny. Like, every time.
So cute. Cristal, what's one of your Floats Your Boat?
Honestly, it's, oh my god, when Shigure kicks Kiyo and Kagura out,
Aw.
like sends them on a date, let me explain. I think it's very relatable as an adult to want to send the kids away.
No, it makes
Right.
sense for sure. I thought that was funny.
When I first saw the series, my reaction to that was, why are you like this? Like, you selfish piece of, you know? Because I don't know, I got mad, and also I didn't like him sending Kagura and Kiyo off, and I had issues with that at the time. But now I feel like it's so relatable because I have nephews and nieces. By the way, if anybody in my family is listening to this, don't get me wrong, I love my nieces and my nephews. I love them.
Yeah.
They're so loud. Make so many messes. I enjoy cleaning up after them. I love it so much. But yeah, I just felt that was very relatable adult bored behavior. Like to be like, okay, now kids, go do some extracurricular activities.
Right.
Let me go drink my tea. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
I mean, Kagura was screwing up his house again. He's just like, get out. So my house can be in one piece.
Get out.
Right.
And wait, the only reason you're here is this guy? Bye, both of you. Ciao.
And then he deactivated her by throwing Kyo on her.
Exactly.
Before you start getting mad, here you go.
Oh, it's actually so funny. Like, just to like zoom ahead, Shigure pushing Kiyo into Kagura was actually ice cream scream for me.
Yeah.
But it is funny, like in context. I think I just like don't like Kagura so much, and Shigure almost enabling that selfishly made me mad. But this is Floats Your Boat.
No, I fully understand it. I think I see both sides of it.
Definitely, me too.
Of like, oh, that's funny because he was just like, I'm saving my house, but then also upset because, I mean, Kyo does not want to be on her. Why would you do that to him?
Right. It's like some things are just too far.
So funny enough, I agree. I put this scene in both. I put it in it made me laugh, and also I have issues with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that would kind of make it a banana split then for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. That's where it fit. You're right.
Yeah. All right. Back around to me. I loved hearing Kyo insist that Tohru rest because she had a cold, because she's like always worried about everybody else when they get a cold. He's like, you freak out when everyone else gets a cold. So I just loved him in his own way, just like insisting that she rest and start to feel better.
Oh god, and he blushed. Every
Yes.
time he blushed, I was like,
Every time he blushed, I can't.
Right?
Like
when she like low-key passed out on his back and he started full-on blushing and was just like, oh, don't feel so bad about it. And I'm just like, Kyo, you need to realize that Tohru would never feel bad enough to physically put herself on you.
yeah, he was so disappointed.
But it was so cute.
it was.
It was so cute. Oh my god. I can't, especially because of how quickly he changes like his stance, like I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can totally lean on me, I guess.
So good. Oh, Chika, what's one of your floats you wrote?
Oh, Momiji taking over Toru's shift for her so she can still get paid.
Yes. Oh my gosh. He was so adorable too in his little like cleaning outfit and hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you know that Shigure told him that so he could just go and tell the management. He didn't think that Momiji would actually go and take over her shift for her.
Right.
I thought that was just the sweetest thing. Like, oh, like you love me that enough to know that I still need this money. Like, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, so sweet. Cristal, do you have any more floats to your boat?
This is very selfish, Sprinkle. When Sensei arrives, I was like, doki doki.
Ooh, that's so funny.
I love a man with long hair.
He has the aesthetic I enjoy right now. I'm very into like Heaven Official's Blessing and a bunch of like Chinese donghua, and they all are beautiful long-haired men. And I guess that brought up my back in Fushigi Yugi. I liked Hotohori.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I like long-haired men. And I'm like, So, maybe you have the mom side ponytail, but hi. How are you?
I love learning about everybody's like anime crushes the more like we talk to people and stuff. It's great. It's so great. The next thing I have is, of course, Kyo cooking for Tohru.
Oh, same.
I feel like you really pinned it down in your sprinkle on top, though. It representing so much more than just a get well meal. It was such a huge gesture.
Yes.
Kyo a month ago would never do this in a million years, but Kyo now.
Housebroken?
Oh,
Yes.
the cat's housebroken. I can't.
He's domesticated now.
That's what you gotta do if you get them feral off the street, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Time and dedication.
But yeah, I loved it so much, and like the conversation that they had was almost, I don't want to say like it was low-key Rocky Road because like Kyo was just being Kyo throughout it, and it was just like, oh, you're so close, but not quite there. But it was just like really sweet, the sentiment and all. Just the way that he sits and listens calmly while she's crying, and he like waits fully until she's done to chime in. Oh, it's just so sweet. I loved that scene very, very much.
Yeah.
Dude, like if you think about it, what does it take for you to cook for someone when you really like care about them? Like you have to sit there as the ingredients, go through their cooking process. Maybe this is me obsessing over Kyo, but the fact that he was, dedicating the time to make a meal, chopping things up, throwing them in a pot, all the while knowing who he's cooking it for.
Oh, love it. Love it. 1,000,000 times love it. Chika, what have you got left if you have any more?
It's the same thing. I'll sort of combine these two. So it's like after he gives the porridge to Tohru and he's listening to her worries and stuff, and it's his turn to talk. I died when he's just like, use Yuki up until he dies. I hope he dies.
That was so funny. He's like, literally work him to death.
Work him to death. It's just like, that Tohru would never do that. And even her studying with him is not like that. But it's just so funny to hear him say that. But also, I loved that he basically told Tohru that he wants her to get back to how she usually is, because he wants her to get back to a place where she can turn her brain off.
Yeah.
And if that is not the most like romantic thing ever, I feel like people might take it for granted, but when you're in a relationship with somebody and it's like you can just be like stupid, it is so nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Not that you're actually stupid, but it's
Let
like
us be
you don't
stupid.
have to. Right. Like you don't have to think that far ahead. You don't have to calculate, oh, this is their response to this and stuff. Like they know who you are. They fully understand you. So you don't have to like worry about anything. You could be as mindless as you want. You could talk about the most random things and it's fine. And that's just like the greenest flag about Kyo was him saying that. Because it's like for me, I'm not trying to be in a relationship. I need to get a lot of shit fixed first before I even contemplate that. But like, if I was going to be in a relationship, I also would need to be with somebody that will allow me to be dumb in that way of like, I'm just saying whatever's on my mind. I'm just mindlessly happy about something or whatever else, or I'm talking about this or that. And like, they just accept all of me as a person. Because, I mean, obviously, Tohru's not a dumb person at all. She's very smart. She's giving. She's this. She's that to so many other people. But her just being able to be absent-minded around him is nice.
Carefree.
Yeah, carefree. Yeah.
It reminds me of that scene when he was just like, you know, you can space out as much as you want around me, and she immediately feels comfortable enough to do it.
Yeah. When those boys were trying to, like, talk to her when Hatsuharu and Momiji are, like, first introduced, or, like, not first introduced, but they start going to the same school. Yeah. With your partner, you ideally don't want to feel like you're on, you know? You want to be able to relax.
I love the character evolution of Kyo. Is essentially, you know, you could just, like, be yourself, and, like, I always like it, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you space out, it's fine. I like it. You talk about whatever, it's fine though. I like it.
Yeah. I'll hear you out.
Say less, King.
Yeah. I'll hear you out or whatever. Like, it's cool. It's chill.
Yeah.
Just go back to being, you know, you who I like, I guess. Not saying I like you.
Ooh, one last thing. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
One last thing. It's still Kyo related. Is when he was going upstairs to give Tohru the porridge, and he like has a flashback of her doing laundry.
Yes, I saw that. I noticed that. I'm like, it's the laundry.
The laundry foreshadowing is back again, guys.
Oh, it's so good, and it hits every time. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, that's the last one for me, for real.
No, it's okay. I went full fangirl for a second. Cristal, do you have any more floats to your boat?
Nope, I'm all of that.
No? Okay. I have a couple very quick ones that don't need any elaborating on, so it'll be very quick. One is Hatori purposefully poking Shigure multiple times with the needle because he was being a pest and he was trying to give him a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is that Yuki gives Tohru a book of practice problems for the makeup test that is so sweet and considerate, and like Tohru didn't like know where to start. She was so sad that she failed, so like for him to give her like a base so that she doesn't have to like have that storm in her brain, that is so nice. And the last one is that I think it's just kind of so cute that Kyo gets sluggish in the rain because of the cat spirit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, wait, no, now you remind me when she offers to carry him in his cat form.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm like, come on, Kyo, admit it. You would love it if she did that. You wanted to jump into her arms right then and there.
Yeah.
He was just like, absolutely not, even if it's everything I could want right now.
Right.
So with that, let's move into Banana Split. Chika, would you like to start?
Okay, so Shigure tells Tohru, he's like, be a good girl and listen to what I say, which, okay. But then also, it's praise kink propaganda, and I'm calling it out as it is. Because I don't know where else it would go.
Oh my god.
I mean, I do not ship Shigure. I do not ship at all them together. I'm just saying I acknowledge that because I too am a heathen at times. So I acknowledge it for what it is.
Oh my god.
As a fellow heathen and member of the Trash Collection Society, I because that was a moment for me. I was like, oh, hey, calm down.
Right?
there.
Like when Howl's just like, oh, that's a good girl. Bro, I'm telling you.
Bro, no, don't say that. Don't say that in my team, you. Sir.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Cristal, do you have any Banana Split?
Yeah, I have two. One of them is Shigure. His existence is a banana split for me. This is where I admit that Shigure is actually my favorite character in the series. He's like my problematic fave. I am a Shigure apologist, knowing full well I like he deserves to go to jail.
Oh my gosh. If you could see the look on my face right now. My
I'm
goodness.
telling you, that gas was not put on, y'all. I felt it in my soul.
Oh.
But yeah, he's a banana split for me because same reason that the scene where he pushes Kyo made me laugh because haha adult things. I also felt like he kept being involved in sending everyone out on a date. Specifically a date is what rubbed me.
Yeah.
Bro, why can't you just say go out and have fun or go to the movies or something? You're like specifying it's a date. Like what are you doing? Trying to sow chaos or just being involved in the love lives of these kids. Like, come on, man.
Oh, you know what, Chris? Yes, you are right. Because first of all, you should aspire for more. PSA to all the listeners of Shoujo Sundae, going to the supermarket is not a fucking date.
It is not.
That's something that you do.
Truly not. It's a chore. It's an errand. It is not a date.
It's not. He just called it that. Do not believe that. A date, somebody needs to wine and dine you. I don't know how young you are. If you are very young, why are you listening to this? But still, if you're grown enough, I'm just saying somebody needs to wine and dine you. They need to ask you out, take you on a date. If somebody has to begrudgingly be forced to go out with you, that's not a date. You need to reevaluate if you really like that person. But yeah.
The only circumstance where you're allowed to take me to a supermarket is because you're gonna cook,
right.
What do you mean? You just want to make sure that you're like addressing my allergies or something.
Right.
Like, that's why you brought me here.
Yeah.
To pick the good meat. Okay.
Yeah, no, imagine being like, yeah, we're going to go to the supermarket and like hit up the Starbucks inside. Absolutely not. Okay. So I guess my first banana split has to do with Shigure as well. And like, it's totally a joke. Shigure says, to be young and innocent again when Kyo leaves with Tohru's food. And I'm just like, was he ever innocent? Like,
No.
He was young.
No.
But like, he still is young. But I'm like, was he ever innocent? No.
No, because remember when Ayame said that they went to the red light district and they were tired out by it? Like,
exactly. That is precisely what I was thinking about. Like, no.
Shigure's been twisted all his life. I don't think he's ever been innocent unless he was like a child.
He's a dog. He's always been a dog. He'll always be a dog.
For real.
Wasn't he a child when he had that dream?
Before he had the dream, maybe he was innocent.
Maybe. Yeah. So what does that give him? 6-7 years? I don't know.
Not as much. I don't remember the time difference. Well, not the time age difference between him and Akito, but whatever that is.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
I mean,
his innocence was over as soon as Akito was born.
Oh, God.
It's done.
Please let's not turn this into Twilight.
Yeah, let's
Oh, God.
That's also a dog. Oh, shit. Wait.
I love it. I love that Twilight came up, and wasn't the one that did it this time.
Right. Twilight just keeps coming up, and like, we're not even trying. Like, I'm not even a Twilight fan, and I referenced Twilight in our last episode. Like, yeah. Chika, do you have any more banana split?
The last one that I have is about Hattori.
Oh, okay.
Can Hattori just do at-home vaccinations? I know they have money and he's a doctor and all of that, but it's just kind of like, she has never been your patient. Like, how do you know that what you're injecting her with is going to agree with her constitution?
I'd like to think that they talked about it or something. I'm sure he's like qualified to do these things if he's like a real doctor.
Yeah.
Crystal, do you have any more banana split?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, the vaccination now now I'm so concerned about the medical history. Okay. So why is a single exam failure akin to not graduating?
Yeah, I know.
I think she overreacted.
Yeah, I kind of put my thought process about that in Rocky Road, but I'll just say it now. I think she's not just sad because she failed a test. I think she's worried that she's failing her mother by not performing optimally. Like, she's put all of this pressure onto herself, even though it's kind of being blown out of proportion. I think she is just like seeing it much bigger, like, as they say, mountains out of molehills kind of thing. Like, of course, one failed test doesn't mean you won't graduate. And I'm sure Kyoko would say everything that everybody else is telling her, that, like, she can do the makeup and she'll be just fine. But, you know, she's put all of this pressure on herself and she wants to be the best person she can possibly be for her mother because her mother can't, like, watch her grow right there, you know, alive with her. So, yeah, that's just the way I was seeing it.
That makes sense to me. Like, if you put it in the emotional context, and I feel for that. I guess my confusion had more to do with my lack of knowledge of the school system, because I genuinely wondered, if you fail an exam in Japan, do you get kicked out?
Oh,
right.
I don't think so. I think they probably give them chances and stuff.
Right. I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's like one test, right?
I wonder because, at least in my country, if you do fail, I think, a certain amount of tests, you do get kicked out.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, is this the same? Like, you get kicked out of the school, but you can still go to another school. I admit this is more like a blind spot I have, and I've seen a lot of series that put a lot of emphasis into the repercussions that come with failing. And I guess maybe that's just something I should research more, I guess. But yeah, I was wondering if that was part of the setup that they were trying to do. It just confused me. I guess that's why I was split on it. Like, I want to know if I'm supposed to feel like what kind of pressure I'm supposed to be feeling in this scene.
Yeah. Like, what exactly are the stakes of failing a subject?
Yeah, I felt I don't have a grasp of the stakes enough to understand why this is this way.
Yeah.
If it's just the feelings of perfectionism that she has, like, that's first of all horrible. Like, that's so sad.
Yeah.
But if there's another layer, I feel like, oh, I don't know if that's there. That would be interesting to know.
Yeah, I would love to have more context, because instead I just kind of like stretched it into like a Rocky Road thing where it's just kind of like the perfectionism and the pressure on herself. But more context would definitely be useful. Yeah.
Everybody was so chill at the house too. So I guess maybe I guess we could take the emotional cues of the Somas themselves, because none of them seem like it's a big deal at all.
Yeah.
Then again, that could also be that no matter what happens with Tohru, they'll just adopt her anyway. She's fine.
That is true. I have one more banana split. It is definitely more I scream, he scream leaning. I will say that. And that would be when Kyo yells at Kagura in the grocery store and he tells her to like shut up loudly in the store. That's definitely not okay. But I'm seeing it from his perspective just to understand. I'm not to excuse, but to understand where he's coming from. And I see that he's like so wound up by her like being there in the first place. And then she's touching on an extremely sensitive subject, possibly the most sensitive subject in his entire life, which is Tohru's just his true form. And also then bringing Tohru into it, saying like Tohru doesn't know that about you. So like I get why he exploded, but I can't excuse like him being like shut up loudly in a grocery store either.
Yeah, that ties into one of my I scream, you scream ones too.
Yeah, same.
I'll wait for that.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Next would be Rocky Road. I don't have any Rocky Road
Same.
because I said my one already.
Ooh, maybe I have one.
Okay, yeah, no, go ahead.
I just think it's just because we know what's going to happen, but the fact that Shoujo is there
Uh-huh.
and like, you know, the weather was already like kind of bad. So I don't know. It's just because I know. It's just like him being there.
For us who know, it's signaling what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So it hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just sad because you know how happy Kyo is to see him.
Yeah.
Or his reaction, but then it's not what you think it's supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite. Cristal, do you have any Rocky Road?
And nothing made me particularly emotional, but it felt heartwarming that all the Somas gather around Tohru the moment she's sick.
Yeah. Oh, that is so sweet. Yeah.
She's got a home, in a sense, with this found family.
Of course, yeah. Okay, moving into Hot Fudge. I personally don't have any Hot Fudge. Do you guys have Hot Fudge?
I have one.
Ooh, I had one, but it's really more I scream, you scream, to be honest.
Okay, Cristal, do you want to go ahead?
All right, so I did feel like slapping Kyo at least once this episode.
Okay.
And it was when he said, "Don't let yourself get sick." To be fair, he apologized for it almost immediately, or tried to course correct. But when it came out of his mouth, I wanted to physically get into the screen.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
and
like
slap
that
him.
either.
Who would want that? Like,
I'm like, how the fuck dare you? Like, that is literally her entire thing. That, like, this episode is all about how she shouldn't allow herself to get sick, and then you say that? Like, it was just so insensitive. Like the idea behind the sentence itself makes no sense even. Like, I don't care that he was just like being smarmy or whatever. You're telling someone that it's inconvenient for them to be weak. Bro,
right.
That's it. I just wanted to slap him. He course corrected and I still love him, but I really wanted to slap him. That really hurt.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad that he tried to back himself out of saying that after he had said it. So at least there was some realization that like, oh, that was not something I should have said, or like maybe I didn't mean to say that or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
or like he meant to say something else and that came out instead. But like, yes, not a fan of that statement.
Maybe
Yeah.
I just get this sort of irrational anger response because again I know that if anything, this is part of the character evolution and the building of Kyo's entire arc. Like, he needs to do that. He needs to say stupid shit and then learn to differentiate and discern what is right and what is wrong and all these things.
Yeah.
But it just filled me with this incredible wave of rage because, again, maybe like how we were discussing in the previous episode, some things just hit home, you know, like with
Yeah.
personal experience. And the attitude of your illnesses or your problems inconvenience me is just something that I've personally had to grapple with, and it's like one of the things I've had to learn to defend myself against.
Yeah.
From people in my life who have treated me that way, like, oh, but why are you sick now? Like, right? Why now? Couldn't it have waited? Like, bitch, I can't control my immune system.
Right.
Like, maybe I failed to show up to an event or do something that was a momentous occasion. Or let's say, I'm going to use an example here to extrapolate, but like a wedding, for example. Oh, I couldn't go to the wedding because I was sick. Well, now I'm a disappointment to the family or to whatever.
Right.
I mean, does everybody else want to get sick too? That's what I would have thought of, to be honest. That's just, I'm helping you out.
You would
Right. I'm
think,
doing
right?
you a favor, actually, by not being here and spreading this.
But
Yeah.
and again, I think I came on this show just family slander, but I don't care. I tell them to their face. But I do go through these experiences, particularly with my family, where, and this might be maybe a bit of a Latino mentality, I guess, where it's like, it doesn't matter what you're going through. If you're not fulfilling your role in certain circumstances as the member of the family, it's wrong, no matter what reason you have, whether you're sick, whether you're going through something, whether you're depressed, whether you're sad. Your agency does not matter for certain things. And when Kyo said that sentence, it just instantly connected all of those experiences for me. And when Tohru reacted by her eyes watering at that moment because of how hard she's actually trying to fulfill that, it just the anger inside of me, because I wish really that there were someone to defend someone like Tohru. Or I guess I'm kind of like projecting myself onto Tohru in that moment when I used to feel sad about being treated that way before I decided to just yell at my like family and be like, oh, shut the fuck up. I'm sick, deal with it. But like, I wish there would have been someone who could defend me.
Yeah.
To come in between and be like, hey, like, why would you say that? And I felt in that moment like I wanted to do that for Tohru.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've experienced that as well. Although it's like my family's Nigerian and stuff. But there have been times where it's like I'm clearly in mental distress, and rather than me being comforted in that moment, it's as if I'm fighting for my life to validate why I'm in mental distress.
Yes.
And like to be like, you know, me saying that I have depression and anxiety, it's not.
Oh, my parents don't believe in that.
They think that you could just switch the shit on and off.
Yeah, it's an excuse.
Just do something that da-da-da-da-da.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, do you think I would want this for I don't want this for myself. I'm doing what I can. But everybody talks about how, you know, you just need to reach out. Reach out. We'll be there for you. And here I go reaching out. And you're using this moment where I'm vulnerable to start chastising me and talking about how you don't believe in what I'm going through, or then tearing me apart for whatever reason. Because then if I like respond back in a negative way, then all of a sudden here's a laundry list of all the shit that they don't like about me.
Oh my
like, it's
God,
really,
yes.
it can be really like fucked up. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
My parents are Dominican, and Dominican parents don't understand the concept of mental distress as a thing.
No.
They don't get it. And if you're crying, you're making, like, why are you crying?
Yeah.
If you have anxiety, like literal panic attacks over, I don't know, showing up to a place that's, you're getting like social anxiety or something like that. Or I once had this moment in my life where I had an irrational fear of planes. I'm over it now, but I really did. I really felt every single time that if I got on a plane, it would crash. It was weird. It was irrational. It made no sense. Doesn't matter. It's anxiety. And it's not something I could just turn off. And exactly when I was expressing to my parents that this was a thing going on with me, and if we were going to travel, please allow me to go by train or something, is when they most doubled down on forcing me to get on as many planes as possible.
Dumb.
I'm like, why are you like this?
Right.
Why are you like, you know what? It's nice that we're bringing up generational trauma in a show about generational trauma. See?
Yeah, it all ties together.
It all connects. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we move into Ice Cream, You Scream?
Yeah.
Okay, I will kick it off quickly just with another quote from Kyo that rubbed me the wrong way. And again, I know it's him just like lashing out for the sake of lashing out and like being angry as a way of just like pushing Tohru away because like, no, I don't feel this way towards you kind of thing. He's like, I can't have a girl hold an umbrella for me. I'm not a weakling. Didn't like that, but not like mad enough at it to like really do a rant or whatever. Honestly, my ice cream stream is pretty quick if I could just like go through my other ones because we're quite over time now. So my other ice cream streams are Kagura showing up at Shigure's house unexpectedly without warning to pester Kyo.
Yeah.
And keeping with Kagura, later in the episode, Tohru says she thinks that Kagura is holding back when it comes to Kyo because she's sure that she wants to see him every day, but she's like restraining herself and not showing up. I'm just like, her showing up at all is not enough restraint because he's explicitly tried to draw boundaries time and time again. So, yeah, that's all my ice cream you scream.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Chika, what do you have?
The one that I had in Hot Fudge but didn't make sense because I kind of already touched on it in Banana Split is, you know how Shigure told Kyo and Kagura to go to the supermarket for a date. He then told Yuki and Tohru to go on a date and they went to the garden. A garden's not a date. And I was just like, I'm not actually mad about that. The way that I don't know, maybe in that moment, I don't know why I put it in Hot Fudge, but it's more ice cream. The rest of them, it's all sort of combined because it's around Kagura. One, I think it's wrong that Shigure is going to make Kyo pay for the damages on his house when Kagura is the one that made the damage.
Yep, 1,000%. 1,000%.
And then I don't know why Kagura couldn't explain why she was obsessed with Kyo because Kyo was actually genuinely asking.
Yeah.
And she's saying that, it's because it will make him upset. But it's kind of just like, it's better to just let him know because at this point, you keep interrupting his life with your feelings. And in general, I think that Kagura is so manipulative.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I think that Kagura is so manipulative. The fact that she started crying in front of the grocery store because he wouldn't hold her hand. And it's just like, if you have to make a spectacle of yourself to get what you want, then maybe it's not for you.
Yep.
Maybe even like her withholding why she even likes him the way that she is. It's also in and of itself manipulative because, the way that Kyo is, he probably would have called her out on it to just be like, oh, so this is why you like me? This is why it's an issue. And she doesn't want to hear that because she wants to continue to be delusional. And I think that if you really love or care about somebody, you aren't going to be doing things against their will. And she just continuously does it over and over again. And it's sort of played as a gag because it's like Shigure is just like, oh, well, just take her on a date, go do this. And it's just putting Kyo through stuff. And it's like, I just wish that there was an adult. And I know it's technically supposed to be Shisho, but still, I wish there was an adult that was firmly in his corner to check Kagura on what has been doing.
Yes.
Not even just in the anime, also in the manga as well, because she's so fucking ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
I don't remember because like I said, I'm an anime only and I've only watched this through to the very end of the series one time. So my memory of what happens with Kagura later is very blurry, so I'm gonna speculate. So this is spoiler free as far as I know, but like the way it's coming across right now with the way that they keep kind of like flashing back to like Kagura seeing his true form and then like being all about the cat, it's giving pity and like I don't want to use love bombing because that's not the correct way to use it.
Overcorrecting?
Yeah. I feel like she's just trying to give him all this love and be obsessed with him because somebody should be obsessed with him and he like deserves attention or whatever. And like, I don't like that. And like, we're not getting into the next couple episodes, but it's very clear anyway that Kyo would much prefer honesty.
Yeah.
Just tell him straight up what you think and why so that he can do with that what he will. Don't put on this song and dance and like these obsessive overtures because it makes you feel good. Let him know and then he can decide how he feels about you in return,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crystal, what do you have for Ice Cream You Scream?
I think we've all agreed on Kagura.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck her. No, sorry.
If you were to ask me, like, I've seen the series 3 times now, and every time, if you were to ask me, there's 2 characters for the life of me, I can never remember what the plot's about. And it's always an episode that has Kagura in it, or Heck, I don't even remember her name. Horse girl.
Rin.
Rin. And I don't dislike Rin. Like, don't get me wrong. Every time I re-see the series, I'm like, oh, Rin. But at the same time, it's like I erase her for some reason.
Oh.
It's just, they don't stick. But particularly Kagura bothers me, whereas Rin does not. It's like, Kagura to me is not a fully fleshed out character. It's just something I can't cling to. Anytime she shows up, she bothers me not just because she is or has an annoying personality. She bothers me because she looks like an archetype, not a person. She is a bull in a china shop, right?
Yeah.
Oh, makes sense. Haha, her whole zodiac. But then it's like, yeah, but every other member of the zodiac has layers around this and, a setup around how those layers are expressed or brought into the story or explored or how they evolve from those layers, etc. To me, Kagura, I think, has maybe one moment where she changes. I don't even remember. I'm not sure. I don't care. She pretty much just is there to push buttons for pushing buttons' sake to me in the narrative.
Yeah.
I don't understand her purpose. I don't think her being or not being in this episode would have changed anything. It's literally Kyo's discomfort about his form could be conveyed in so many other ways.
Yeah.
Kyo not wanting to be dragged to spend time with someone he clearly feels uncomfortable with. Why do we have to sit and put ourselves through watching this? Like, it's just,
right.
I zone out.
All I could give you is that she's very pathetic, to be honest. And I think her character development could have been better. There could have been more to her need of being obsessed with Kyo. I think that there's also could have been more to her outside of Kyo. And we don't really see that in the manga or in the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's where I have to draw a very big difference between why I don't remember her or Rin most of the time. Her I don't remember because I dislike. Rin I don't remember usually, more to do with the fact that she's not as much like featured as prominently to stick out. Half the time I have to remember, like I'm actively remembering stuff and now I'm like, oh wait, I do admire one thing about Rin.
Yeah.
It's like my imprint of these characters wildly varies, not as memorable to me as the rest of the cast, but Kagura just put her away. I have nothing.
Yeah. Is that everything?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Shoujo Sundae. Before we get into our outro spiel, we just want to give a super big thanks to all of our patrons. So, thank you so much to our Sprinkles patrons, Gloves, Akemi, PJ, and Pete. Going into our whipped cream patron, thank you so much to Mark M. And our Hot Fudge patrons, we have Mackenzie, Aaron, AJ, and Mark D. Thank you all so much for being our patrons. If you would like to join our Patreon, you can head on over to patreon.com/Shoujo Sundae. Check out our tiers. We're offering some really fun stuff like our Shonen Sunday exclusive mini podcast and our Licorice live action that we just started this month for our whipped cream and above patrons, and Shonen Sundays for our Hot Fudge patrons. We also are offering, some phone backgrounds and wallpapers, stuff like that, app icons. So yeah, check it all out. And I would like to throw it over to our guest, Cristal. Where can the people find you on the internet?
Thank you so much. And you can totally find me hating on Kagura 24/7 at Cristal Marie everywhere. CRISTALMARIE, because my mom thinks she's French. Marie. I don't know why she would do that to me. But anyways, I like my name, don't worry. So yeah, just at Cristal Marie, at Cristal Marie. Whether it's X, Twitter, I don't know what to call it, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the socials, you can find me there. And if you want to see me in my more official role as a host and creator and writer for other channels and networks, you can check out crunchyroll.com/crunchycast, where I am one of the hosts of the official Crunchyroll podcast. And you can also check out some old videos on YouTube and Get in the Robot, Beyond the Bot, and my brand new channel, The Hollow TV. So yeah, you can just hit me up anytime and let's hate on Kagura for a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But I love Shigure. Don't ask me why. That problematic ass. I love him.
You might have to journal about that and dig deep.
God damn it. I open my Tumblr just for this one post.
Oh my god, please. Live journal. Oh my gosh. Okay. If you would like to follow us, Shoujo Sundae, across socials, you can follow us at Shoujo Sundae, and that is across all socials, including Threads and Blue Sky. Please follow us on there so we can escape the hell app that is Twitter. Also, maybe leave us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this.
Maybe.
If you feel a little generous.
Do it.
I mean, okay, I was trying to be nice, but like
I'm not being nice. No, leave us 5 stars, please, guys. Yeah, we would love to get. We're almost at 50, right? We're almost at 55 stars on Spotify. It would be nice to hit 100, at least by our next anniversary in July. So I'm giving you plenty of time. So see, I can be nice too. So
yes,
yeah,
we have noticed.
Yes.
Plenty of notice.
Yes.
Give us those 5 stars, please, and thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely getting one from me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for inviting me and letting me stand about this for so long.
Yeah, oh, of course.
And really, really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I love what you guys are doing. And I hope you never get discouraged and continue to explore it, because there need to be more voices in shoujo that are bringing life back to these titles and kind of just focusing on them and giving them the love and attention they deserve. So thank you so much for actually putting it out there.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Oh my gosh, hugs through.
Yes, hugs through the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. If you would like to follow us personally, you can follow me. I am Giana Luna. You can follow me at Giana_Luna_ everywhere across socials. It's Giana with 1 N, but on Blue Sky, I'm just at Giana Luna. No underscores. They would not let me. How about you, Chika?
Yeah, you guys can find me. I'm on private right now, but you can still find me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Chika Supreme. That's Chika with a K and not 2 C's.
All right. So thank you again to Cristal for joining us, and we will see you very soon with our Fruits Basket finale episode. We will see you then.
Bye.